I really appreciate you all being here at the No Theater. Give the No Theater a round of applause. The workshop and the show this evening. Let's talk about what we're doing here is weird. Yeah, I'm telling that storytelling is like its one own kind of strange thing, and then there's stand-up comedy. Stand-up comedy is a subjective sport. You know, it should be judged like this. It should be judged like gymnastics. Right? Some little girl could come out, do one cartwheel and land it perfectly. She get a bad score. Why? Because it's a low level of difficulty. See, some of these jokes tonight you're not going to laugh at. It's not because they're not funny. It's because they're really hard. That one was a level 6. And so we need to back up and practice a tad. All right. Let's start back a little ways. Level 4! Level 4. Bought this hat because of this haircut. You like that? Yeah, I told the barber to trim it. Apparently what he thought I said was Renaissance Festival. He's like, what do you think? I was like, I think I need to learn how to joust now is what I think. D'Artagnan, I look like I bought this haircut by trading you a chicken. Level 5! I'm divorced! I know it's weird to just start talking about that all of a sudden, but too bad, that's how I found out. How'd that feel? Surprising? Yeah, me too. Thought everything was cool. She just met me at the door one day out the blue. We need to talk. Our marriage has become hard work. It's become like a job. Yeah. That's how bad the economy got, y'all. I got laid off by my wife. She downsized my marriage. I'm a used husband now. Level 6. I am from Nashville, Tennessee. Tennessee is the volunteer state. Glad to be in Cincinnati now. Yeah, volunteers! That's what they call it, Tennessee. As you're driving on the interstate, there are signs on the side of the interstate that say, volunteers make better lovers. Yes, they do. That would be because involuntary lovers are called victims. It's a felony, guys. Do you guys get how this works now, right? These jokes that we're going to hear tonight, right? You got to throw out 1s and 2s for a couple of you, 7s and 8s for the rest of you. You know who you are. So we're going to do one more with lots of levels in it, something for everybody. Then I'm going to do a little musical stand-up-y kind of storytelling piece, and then we're going to get this thing going. All right, here we go. I saw my first bald eagle in the wild recently. It was in Duluth, Minnesota. It was all majestic sailing up there in the air. I was like, oh my God, look at that bald eagle. But when a bald eagle drops a squirrel in front of your parked car and comes down to get it, guess what? That shit ain't majestic anymore. No, you pee a little bit. That's what happens next. That's the opposite of majestic right there. You go. They should tell you in your high school civics class that is a 3-foot-tall bird, y'all. That is a pit bull with beak and talons is what that is. It's a Rottweiler that flies. Went from nature documentary to horror film in 2 seconds. You're like, oh my God, look at the beautiful. Pee-pee. It's a dollar-bill pterodactyl. That bird came down and picked up that squirrel and then flew away again, and you know what I didn't think? America. Pretty solid for a level 8 there. Good job. Good job. I'm an only child! That's why I have no social skills. Because if you have brothers and sisters, you do something stupid, they kick you in the teeth, you learn something. Not me. Right? I'm an only child, so I played all the group games by myself. They're all group games. I played lots of games like that as a kid. Games like Go Seek. It's a level 4. Played a one-player version of Seesaw as a game called Sit Sat. That was, it's about as much fun as musical chair. Played dodgeball by myself as a kid. Y'all ever do that? You take a bucket of your dad's golf balls and toss it up in the living room ceiling fan and run like hell. Then you leave all the golf balls out and you wait for Dad to come home, and that's when you learn how to play hide. Let's do this thing, y'all. Let's get this show started. You ready? It's good to be here, No Theater! Yeah! Get some energy going, y'all. Yeah! It's good to be here, man. I recently was doing comedy in Arkansas. It's great to be here. Because you guys know what words mean. Oh, the blues, they're so hard to find. It's easy to be blue and all the world is stupid and unkind. But you get to choose to be happy, you get to pursue. And if you don't, one thing I know, the blues gonna catch up with you. I was in a town in Arkansas called Bald Knob. I'll let that steep for a minute if the tea ain't dark enough for you, really. Bald Knob, that's a real place. There's a mayor of that. There's a man that gets up every morning ready to serve and protect Bald Knob. The hotel I was staying at was called the Bald Knob Inn. That's a verb. That's a thing you do. What are you doing tomorrow, Bald? Bald knobbing. When you walk into the Bald Knob Inn, there's a handwritten sign taped to the front desk. It does not say thanks for coming. It does not say welcome. It said, Hunters, please do not skin deer in room. That means somebody got caught, right? So I said to the fellow behind the counter, I was like, hey brother, did you catch somebody practicing taxidermy in your hotel? And he said, what? Because he doesn't know what words mean. I said, did you catch a dude in a room with a deer? He said, hey man, this ain't that kind of hotel. Oh, the blues, they're hard to find. It's easy to be blue and all the world is stupid and unkind. Now listen, you gotta make the best of a bad situation in this life, right? That's what it is. I had a refrigerator in my room, so I decided to go to the grocery store, get some lunch meat, save some money, be thrifty. I got by the one fellow left on the planet doesn't know how to use the self-checkout line. Dude had 2 bags of chips, couldn't do it. Couldn't handle it. He scanned the first bag and held on to it while he was trying to scan the second one, and the machine just kept saying, please place the item in the bag. He literally said, they're chips, they're already in a bag. Now, I would normally say what this man said to me next was ridiculous, but this is a song about thinking positively. So I'm going to say he taught me a new word. That man turned around and looked at me, 2 bags of chips akimbo, eyes bulging out of his head, sweat running down his brow. He looked at me dead in the face and he said, "Twon't scan." Twon't it? I twondered why it twon't. Would you perhaps twy and get out of my tway? That would be terrific. Life's too short to sweat the small stuff, y'all, you know? Can't get mad at twon't, come on. So I walked out to my car, had a GPS system in my car, and I decided right there to count my blessings, you know? I'm glad y'all are here. You gotta count your blessings. If you're in Bald Knob, Arkansas, a GPS system, it's a friggin' blessing, you know? I sat down in my car, I was in Bald Knob, I looked at the GPS system, I typed in the word intelligence and hit enter, it read no matches found. Made me happy immediately. I drove back to the Bald Knob Inn. There was a different clerk behind the counter. I was in a better mood, so I struck up a conversation. He said something just as crazy as twon't, but this time it made me happy instantly. Why? Because I was thinking positively. He said the word dang darn. Dang darn! Dang, little and darn, and he meant it. We were talking about the economy, and he said, man, all the jobs, man, they just all gone dang darn. Guys, dang darn is a great word. Dang darn in that sentence modified. The word tree is a noun. The word climb is a verb. The word dang darn is amazing. Dang darn because you can dang darn climb a tree, or you can climb a dang darn tree, or you can climb a tree, dang darn, right? day I was going to leave, or as I like to call it, cross the Arkansas State finish line. That was a level 7, I'm proud of it. My GPS died. Yeah, you know what I think happened? I think Tom thought we were going to stay in Bald Knob and killed himself. It's called Tomicide where I'm from. So now I have to ask for directions in Bald Knob. That ain't good. Those people don't know how to leave, or they'd be gone already. You understand? So I see this fella in the parking lot, and I wave him down, and he waved back. I don't know if you've ever had to ask for directions or not, but this ain't your guy. You don't have to say anything, you understand, but he's all I had. So as I drove closer, I noticed a few things. And I'm not making fun of this fella. I'm just stating the facts as they occurred to me. So as I drove up, I noticed his waving hand had 4 total fingers, 3 whole, 2 halves. He was waving them. And his glasses were just a little crooked, so from below him in the car, it looked like one eyeball was 1 inch northwest of the other eyeball. And his shirt collar, one side was up around his ear, the other one was down below his collarbone because he put the wrong buttons in the wrong buttonholes. So his shirt's wonky, his eyeballs are out of whack, he's missing fingers. He looks like a hillbilly Picasso painting. That was a level 9. This is going to be a good show tonight. Yeah. And I had to ask him for directions. Hey man, what can I do for you? Could you just get me to the interstate? I just need to know how to get to the interstate. He goes, interstate? Come on, man. You just need to go right up here a handful of streets. Does that mean 5? Does that mean 3 and 2 halves? I'll tell you folks one thing. You never feel lost once you find a 4-fingered handful of happiness. Oh, the blues, there's one to find. It's easily blue. Stupid and unkind, but you get to choose to be happy. You get to pursue. And if you don't, one thing I know, the blues is gonna catch up with you. Thank y'all. Everybody really put forth their best effort, and we got 6 people coming up, 4 comics and 2 storytellers. The first person that's coming up to the stage right now, she did comedy a few years ago. She says it was many, many years ago, but I just don't believe it. She was doing comedy for quite a while, and then now she works with children here in the area. She's got her own 501c3 company. Give it up right now, everybody, for Sheila Mudd Baker! Come on!
I can't see a damn thing. I thought I'd be able to see faces. All lighting. Anyway, my name is Sunny and I haven't done this in about 30-some years. So there'll be maybe some lulls in my monologue because I'll forget. But I did do something. Can y'all read this? So every time I look at that, you'll know like, you kind of lost me. Sometimes there may be, large gaps of silence. It's because I've forgotten something. Well, listen, you've been a great audience. Thanks so much. Oh, wait, no, that's not right. Anyway, I'm here to talk about getting old, okay? Getting old really sucks. I mean, I didn't think it would be this bad. It's terrible. I've never been old before. It's terrible. Oh my God. I did find out 3 things about getting old. I know this so far. Number one, everything either goes brown, you get those brown spots, or it goes gray, your hair gets gray, or it drops off. And you never know where they're going to go, so you don't care. But now we're lucky because we have so many products out there now that help us old folks look younger, feel younger, and live a better life, okay? I call them spare parts. Like a new knee, a new hip, a new shoulder, facelift, Botox. I mean, it's all out there for you, and they're wonderful. But I have some warnings for you here. Sometimes the new ones are not all they're cracked up to be. Like I had a friend of mine who got a new knee, and she always liked to date younger guys. guys, and she was about 3 months before she started dating again, and she dated this younger man. They were very happy, and one night they went to her house for dinner, and they decided to, make out, because that was they knew each other, it was time. Well, anyway, when you have a new knee, you can kick it, and you can run on it, and you can walk on it, but it can't torque real well. So anyway, she said it was awful. They were all, together, and she got to the part where she tried to wrap her left leg around the guy's back, and the big crack, the crack was so bad, it just shook the whole house. Followed by, her reaction, oh my God, Jesus Christ! And the guy got up and ran to the window and looked out. She said, what the hell's wrong with you? Jesus, I thought a tree fell on my car. And a shoulder isn't much better either. Now, my husband and I, every once in a while, we get frisky. Not too often, but we do get frisky. And he loves golf, okay? He moves a little faster than I do in bed, particularly when you have a false shoulder. So by the time I get in bed and get all ready, get my shoulder up, with pillows and stuff, I got all ready and I was so happy. I said, all right, honey, well, he's out in the fridge getting a beer watching the golf game. So see, sometimes it just doesn't work. But anyway, what I wanted to tell you about, now here I'm looking at this shoulder. Oh, the lingo. If you want to date younger men, you have got to learn the lingo that's going around now with the youngsters, with the young people. I mean, I went to a singles, not a dance, but sort of a meeting, and the first guy came up to me, and he said, what's your Twitter handle? Well, I kick him right in the crotch. That's a terrible thing. The next guy came up, and he was kind of nice. He chatted with me for a while, and then he asked me if I wanted to hook up. Hook up? Yeah, you really enjoy it. Let's hook up. I thought, And then I thought, well, maybe I know what he's saying. I said, okay, I'll hook up. And I got out my little iPhone, and I plugged in a little thing in the back, and I put my earbuds in, turned on the music, and I was hooked up, man. I was having a good time. I couldn't hear what he was saying because I had the music in my ears, But I don't think he was real happy. And he sort of looked at me and shook his finger at me and gave me the finger, and then he left. So I didn't do too well with that either. Okay, now I'm going to the good part. The trickiest thing that I think you could get to look younger is a facelift. And they're wonderful when you first get them. I know I had a facelift, and it was wonderful. All the younger guys were calling me for dates, and I just felt beautiful, We go out for dinner, we have these romantic evenings. Now, one thing I do have to tell you, folks, if you're an older woman dating a younger man, you've got to really watch that when he's around you, you don't leave your purse open so he can see in your purse, or you don't drop your purse and all the stuff falls out. Because if you do, he's liable to see your extra pair of pens and your tube of poly grip. It's happened to me a couple times, and I always say, damn, my mother's got my purse again. Okay, let's see where we're going now. Oh, yes. I can't read that. What the hell does it say here? Okay, then we're going to, Jesus, I can't even read it. That's funny, I can't read my own handwriting. Well, listen, folks, you did a great job. Okay, now, I wanted to talk about this really bothered me because I lost my place. If you want to look younger, and they think you're younger, and then they realize they think you can do the younger things, okay? Like taking a 5-mile hike up Red Rock Canyon, in the great summertime with all this 90-degree weather. I mean, I made it up to the marker for 3 miles, and then I knew I was gone. And my boy toy was about 5 miles up, just running, having a good time. And so I could feel the whoosh in my head, and the black spots in front of my eyes. I just peeled over and fainted right in the stuff on the side of the trail and all the bushes. And if it had been for 2 squirrels, 2 squirrels tried to put a nut in my right ear, I would have still been there. But you know what? I really enjoyed the helicopter ride. That was fun. And then there are some he said, you want to play tennis? And I said, well, sure, because I had played tennis before. I thought, well, we'll do a couple sets, and that'll be it. 3 hours later, in the broiling sun, this bitch is jumping around like a flea on the other side of the net, and I could hardly talk, walk, or even. My hair was like patent leather, it's all over, it's dry, okay? My workout bra totally gave up and dropped around my knees. It was just awful. And my socks were gone. I think I burned them up. So anyway, I thought to myself, you know what? All of a sudden, a little voice said to me, by God, you better get tough. I mean, if you're going to do this, if you're going to date younger men, and they think you're younger, then by God, you got to get tough and you got to do it. And I did. I suddenly just got strong and tough. And I gave him a backhand and knocked the son of a bitch over. And then, after that, I was really proud of myself because I kept that racket in my hand all the way to the ER in the ambulance. Where the ER staff, right away took me in, put a needle in my arm, and then put this little white bracelet on me. Little white plastic bracelet. I had my whole life on there. My first and last name, my blood type, my real date of birth, and on the top in big numbers was my real age. And I thought, Jesus, $20,000 to look 10 years younger, and the medical staff prints the truth on a shitty little white bracelet. I mean, there's just no justice. But anyway, they put me in a room, and of course, as soon as I got in the room and got settled down, the door burst open, and my boy toy came running in. He was real concerned. And all of a sudden, I saw him coming across the room, and I thought, oh no! And I took my racket and put it over my left wrist because I knew he would be able to see the number on the bracelet. But he saw it. He comes over to me and looks down at the bracelet and says, 64. What does that mean? I didn't think fast. It says 64. Are you sure it's 64? Yes, honey, it says 64. Oh, and then I thought of it. I said, oh my God, honey, what? That's how many minutes I have to live. Call a priest and tell my mom I love her. You really have been a good audience.
Great job, Sunny. Keep it going for Sheila Mudd, everybody. Our next performer, she is an actress in town, and also she's a member of Toastmaster International. She told me that she took the class because her friends told her she wasn't funny. And if it were me, I would have just gotten better friends. But instead of that, she took the class. Coming to the stage right now, Sheila Mudd Baker, everybody!
Unlike Sunny, I couldn't write small enough, so I brought a card. To tell you the truth, I did not know my Irish mother was an IRA terrorist until I attended her wake. I suppose I should have been a little bit suspicious of her activities, but I lived in a typical Irish household. We had undercooked, never, overcooked food, daily rosaries, and hand grenades. Who knew? Having an Irish mother was interesting. My mother knew hundreds of Irish revolutionary songs and poems and stories from Irish history. I was 12 years old before I discovered that all Irish songs and stories do not end with the words, "Those bloody Brits." Being Irish Catholic means, at least in my household, daily mass, weekly confession, not confection. My mom didn't believe in desserts. Venus. And it's awesome that my brother, sister, and I were left to the mercies of the local Catholic schools. And in those days, that meant nuns. The first nun I ever had as a teacher was Sister Manuelita. Despite the fact that that's a Spanish name, Sister Manuelita was Irish. My father said that Sister Manuelita was just as ancient and terrifying when he was a third grade student. When I asked him what Manuelita meant, he said, wooden ruler. Not that being a Sister Manuelita's class was all bad. As a treat for the class, she would cats. I'm crazy about cats. My cats are like princes. They sleep all day. Well, they do wake up for meals. They like to be petted until they bite me. And all night long, they run around knocking down furniture, yowling for females. They are just like princes, Prince Harry and Prince Andrew. Those bloody Brits. Prince Harry, Queen Elizabeth II, Kate Middleton. Why are Americans so crazy about the English royal family? I don't get it. They're bloody Brits. My mother, and it's just too weird for me to say, my mother followed the antics of the English royal family. No. She made my sister and I, when we were teenagers, promise that we would never marry Prince Charles. We didn't think we'd ever meet him, yeah, but we did find him not as attractive as those other bloody Brits, the Beatles and the Rolling Stones. But I'm sorry we made the promise, because now one of us could be living on fabulous alimony for the rest of our lives. The thought of my IRA mother being the mother-in-law of Prince Charles, priceless. Can you imagine Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip at one of my family gatherings? Those bloody Brits.
Ohio. She is a Toastmaster as well. Donni Cryer, everybody, clap for her.
Hey, everybody. Hey. How's it going? Good. I am from Dayton, so it's great to be here in Cincinnati. And just to get it out of the way, I know you're all thinking, you're looking at me, and let's just go ahead and address the elephant in the room. I'm black. Whenever I call somewhere on the phone, no one ever thinks that I'm black. Between my name and my husky voice, they're thinking, is that a middle-aged white man? Which is great when I'm calling about my 401k, but not when I'm calling customer service about sending me the wrong size bra. I really have been getting into reality TV reality. I went through a phase where I watched all the shows, and I've been getting back into it because it's so pitiful and just so entertaining. I don't know if you guys watch reality TV, but MTV is the worst. There's a show on MTV. It's called Catfish, and it's all about people in these long distance relationships pretending to be something that they're not. Kind of like the modern version of an internet chat room. And if you're wondering, I'm Mr. Donni, 401k Triple D. People lie about who they are because they're afraid of criticism, and they're afraid of, letting their freakiness out. And I say, just go with the flow. Just do whatever. Don't be ashamed. There's this whole new movement now about fat shaming, which really isn't new. I was being fat shamed in 1987. But I say just embrace yourself. I'm not ashamed. This body takes a lot of work. You know how many tacos I have to maintain this? Relationships are hard, man. Like, a friend of mine, she called me the other day, and she was crying and screaming and just a blubbering mess. And she's like, Donni, I broke up with him. He sent some other bitch an edible arrangement. And he had sex with her. And that edible arrangement was so huge. And I just thought to myself, I guess the sex was kind of an afterthought. She was really concerned about that edible arrangement. So this is a lesson for all of you guys. You can cheat on your girlfriends, but don't send delicious fruit on set. I'm an introvert. I'm kind of the quiet introvert type. And a lot of people think that introverts would rather hang out with their 13 cats than hang out with people. And to be really honest, that's true. I would rather hang out with my cat than hang out with you. But I'd probably rather hang out with your cat than hang out with you. Another thing people think about introverts is, that we keep to ourselves and we're lonely, and, that's not necessarily true, but I don't really like crowds. I'm not into crowds. I get kind of, I just don't like people touching me and kind of just, putting their grubby hands on me. And sometimes people think, you're afraid of intimacy, you don't like enclosed spaces, you don't like that, and really, I'm just an asshole. Another thing about introverts is I love my quiet time to ponder, just contemplate my thoughts and read a good book and occasionally get falling down drunk. That's a level 6 drunk. I do love a good drinker every now and again. People talk about the health benefits of red wine, and I just really don't like red wine. I like white wine, I really do. And the thing is, I prefer wine that's like my vagina, that's dry and bitter. Thank you.
Stage this evening. He hosts a public access television show called Something Suave Theater in Northern Kentucky. Give it up right now, everybody, for Tim Caldwell! Hello, bonjour,
evening, kids. How's it going tonight? Thank you. I'm nervous. I'm not gonna lie. I'm nervous. My mind just went blank right before I came up on the stage. So this is gonna be interesting. I'm nervous. I haven't been this nervous since my ex looked at me and said, "We need to go on the Maury Povich show." My biggest problem is I'm nervous when it comes to talking to people. You know, when I'm sitting up here talking to you guys, that's one thing. But when it's one-on-one, I get kind of nervous and clam up, especially when it's with a woman I'm attracted to. See, when I'm talking to her, I think I'm talking, you know, saying something nice and beautiful and romantic, like, "Hey, baby. You look hot. Can I see your boobs?" You know, romantic. But I know it comes out more like much enough from Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids. "Oh, dooba, baby. Baby, booba, baby, booba, boobs." I'm a single dad, full-time single dad.
Yeah.
Thank you for the 2 children here. I've been a single dad since he was 2 months old. That's when his mom took off. And I love my son, mainly because it's against the law to kill him. I mean, you know, like when he's 1 year old and I wake up, see, I collect a lot of movies. I do. I have over 3,000 movies on 7 different formats. And I only buy movies when I'm not dating anybody, which explains why I have a large collection. And when he was 1 year old and I wake up, and I see the DVDs over there, the covers over there, and Lord knows where the hell the inserts are. And he's standing at me and he's doing this. It's like, you know, legally the only thing you can say is, "Daddy's so proud of you. Hey, I have a game. Let's put them back together." Yeah. Now I know why sex is bad. He's 10 years old now. And I'm a bad dad. I tell everybody I'm a bad dad. I'm the first person to admit it. I'll tell everybody. Family, friends, judges, I'll tell everybody. And my friend Richard, who's here tonight, one time I was telling him, I said, "I'm a bad dad," and he goes, No. You're a single dad. You do it all by yourself. You're mother and father. You should be proud of what you're doing, man. This is what I want you to do. I want you to sit back and think about something you taught your kid. Something that you can point to and say, "I taught him that." And I did, and I thought about it, and he's 10 and he can cuss at a high school level. I'm single mainly because I only date psycho chicks. And no, ladies, it's not like I'm one of those guys who believe all women are psychotic. No, I only date psycho women. I found that out the hard way. I was in a relationship with this chick, and not my son's mom, thank God. But she used to make me sleep with the TV on. And I'm the type of guy, I like silence, blackness, you know, nothing's going on. And for like 2 months straight, nothing but Channel 19 all night long. And so finally I asked her, I said, "Baby, okay, why do we sleep with the TV on? Is it because I snore?" Which I do. And she looks at me and goes, "No, honey. It's because the radiation from the television set keeps the aliens at bay." And I said, "What?" And the sad thing is, I dated her for a year after that. Sadder still is that she broke up with me because I was weird. I don't know, is it weird? Is it weird to make love with TV theme songs playing? I mean, you haven't made love till you had sex to He-Man and the Masters of the Universe theme song. Theme song is only 1 minute, 6 seconds. I typed it and that's all I need. She recently wrote to me on Facebook, which was really odd because normally when she got on the computer, the toaster would get so jealous. And she hinted that she wanted to get back together with me, right? And I thought, no. Already rode the train to Sacoville. I got off and happily standing at the I'm single and not dealing with anybody's bullshit station. Thank you two people for laughing. I like that joke. But of course I was high when I wrote it. Which might explain my clothes. It's not that I'm against relationships, it's just I'm not looking. One of the major misconceptions that people have about men is that they don't want a strong woman. I would love to have a strong woman. I would love to date a strong woman. That way when I'm at a bar and I get the fight, I can say, wait a minute. Honey, this guy's being mean to me. Thank you. So maybe I am weird, I guess. It comes from my family, like my grandpa. You remember the old saying, an apple a day keeps the doctor away? His was a bottle of vodka a day makes grandma look better. Never understood that till he made me drink a bottle of vodka and then look at my grandma. For the polygraph, babe. I only got $3 in my wallet. I am a comedian, I guess. Thank you. But, lost my train of thought. Yeah, so anyways, I like to hang out with smart people because that makes me smart by default, right? Except now. I swear I'm sober. But we all have that one stupid friend that we like to hang out with, right? We all have that one friend who's just incredibly stupid. My friend is named Jeremy. As a matter of fact, I introduce him as my stupid friend Jeremy. The reason why he's my stupid friend Jeremy is that I have proof that he is stupid. Jeremy's allergic to Coca-Cola. Don't know what it is, but there's something inside Coke. If he takes a sip, his face will turn bright red, puff out, he can stop breathing, and theoretically he could die. So one day we were at Fountain Square and we're walking around and they had the Pepsi challenge there. Don't get ahead of me. Jeremy looks at me and goes, I want to take that. And I'm like, okay. So I put them in front of me because I figure I'd get a really good show. You guys know what the Pepsi challenge is, right? You get 1 or 2 cups, you gotta figure out which one's Coke and Pepsi. So we're standing in line, he walks up to the booth, the lady explains the rules to him, and he grabs a cup, and then suddenly it hit him. And he started getting nervous and started shaking her back. And he looked back to me, I guess, for moral support, and the only thing I could think of was, dude, it's a 50-50 shot. So you can see the look in his eyes as he says, fuck it, downs it, turns to me, smiles real big, face turns bright red, puffs out, and falls down. I turned to the lady and I said, that was Coke.